My cousins were talking about this new game that they had, and there's like, this plumber that fights this dragon, and these turtles that you stomp on, and very, very interested in it and intrigued, by it. And so, you go into this castle. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is wild, and there's this big dragon turtle, like creature, and breathing fire and all, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I've got to play it, and hi, and welcome to That Toy Dude. I'm Jamie, and today we have a special guest. His name is Bill. He has a podcast on YouTube. His handle is at Lions Den Media. It will be in the description, a link there, and you can follow his page and subscribe to him. And he has several famous people that he interviews on that channel too. So like, subscribe, and leave comments on his page as well. So we're going to jump right into the episode, and here it is.
Well, thanks for having me on, bud. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like I said before, we got on a cam. Been a while since I've been a guest
Yeah.
on a show. So this is a lot of fun. I didn't have to do any prep work except load up all my crap to come talk about and think about it for like 30 seconds of what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But it's nice to not have to do any producing.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to just sitting back and
Yeah.
nerding out for a little while with you.
Yeah. So you brought a lot of material.
I did. So to give your viewers some backstory, I've been in Philly, which is where I'm from, born and raised, not raised, but where I'm born. I've been there for the better part of 2 months. And there's a lot of great places to look for nerd stuff in the area. You just have to be willing to drive a little bit. Not everything is going to be in the city. For example, a lot of the video games I'm going to show today, I had to drive about 45 minutes to go to the store that I really like, which I'll mention later. There are some comic shows that about 20 minutes out of the city. I went to just an all-encompassing, I forget the moniker they used for it, but it was a big, nerd show.
Right.
And that was about 40 minutes away, 50 minutes away. So you just gotta be willing to go the extra mile, literally.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I have a nice little mix of stuff. I didn't bring absolutely everything. The comics I'm going to start with here, I only brought about half of that.
Yeah.
I wanted to start with the comics because it's not as exciting. Maybe some of the viewers will like it, but I cut out anything that wasn't like a key book because I like variants. I like virgin covers with pretty girls on it. Things like that, or just run fillers. Like I bought a bunch of Batman animated series books, but they're cool looking, but there's nothing to really talk about. Like there's another Batman book.
Here it is. Yeah.
Here's another Batman book. So you want me to just jump right in? You have any questions?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So I bought some of the books, as you can see. Whenever I'm in Philly, I haven't been the last couple trips, but I do like to try and go to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. It's a lot of fun. The guys that do still work there are very personable. I highly recommend if you're in North Jersey, anywhere near Red Bank, go to the store, man. It's worth the trip. But not all of them are from the Secret Stash. So first, a couple of West Coast Avengers books. They're not very pricey, but it's hard to find them in the long boxes because they're pretty much grabbed. Whenever a lot of this has to do with like WandaVision and what was the sequel? The Doctor Strange sequel. Madness.
I'm not a Marvel fan.
You're not a Marvel fan.
No, I'm more of a DC fan.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Multiverse of Madness. These keys have to do with that. A lot of Wanda kind of keys, her dark personality coming out, that kind of stuff. So I saw them. They look to be, very fine, near mint shape. So I picked them up. So I picked this Dark Horse Comics Star Wars book up. It is not a Mara Jade key, but it is a Star Wars key. And I really dug the cover. It has kind of that 90s, early 2000s feel. And I think it reminded me of Mara Jade when I first pulled it out of the bin. Yeah. And it was cheaper than what Key Collector had it at. This is that same store in Jersey. Maybe a little while I'll look it up so I can give them a shout out. So that was a fun little pickup. I don't like to, when I collect comics, I try to keep to my list.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Sometimes you just run into stuff you didn't know existed, or newer modern books that come out that are like limited runs. This came from the same store. And I love this. This is one of those things that I didn't know I wanted until I got it. This is the first appearance of Livewire in the
Superman
in the animated series universe for the comics. So obviously I don't like Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you guys don't know that about me, but I do not like Superman. I'm a Bat fan all the way.
Same here.
But I think you and I both love that universe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we do.
So I had to pick this up. It was at a great price. It's in really great shape. I'm hoping if I get it graded, it'll be at least a 9.4 or better.
Yeah, it looks great shape.
Yeah, there's a couple of marks, a couple of ticks, but nothing crazy. So I'm hoping after like a press, it'll be 9.4-ish, and I'd be happy with that. $50 plus $30 grader fees, and I think I'd be evened out.
Have you had comics graded before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The last batch I sent in, I buy most of my comics from a place called The Collector Zone on Facebook. He's one of the only people I trust buying raw comics from online. Obviously, if you're at a store or at an event and you have the time to look it over, that's great. But a lot of times you don't, and you don't know if you're going to get, because I've had this happen to me, where I've even bought from a reputable store that does online shows, big stores, and I'll get them with stuff cut out, they're detached, and they don't tell you. It's a mess, because what are you going to do? They're not going to take them back.
Yeah.
So this guy, Nick, who runs the Collector Zone, he does 100% guarantee money back. And everything I've gotten from him, I've only had to send one book back, and that was because of me.
Right.
Because I didn't listen to the grade that he told me.
Okay.
I heard whatever I wanted to hear and I bought it.
Yeah.
And then when I got it, I was like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. But he took it back.
Right.
So I sent in some books that I bought from him. I've gotten into buying, it's called Cherry Pop-Tart. It's a adult series from the 80s that kind of spoofs Archie a little bit, but it's very adult. But because of that, it's very hard to find them in high grade.
Right.
So I bought a bunch from him. I sent in a #1 first print. It got a 9.2 white pager. That's incredible. It's insane. You don't see those books above a 9 very often. They don't pop up very often. But I also bought 2, 3, and a smattering of other issues. But 2 and 3 were also really high grade. And he sold them to me as 9.4 or better. So I paid up for them, grabbed them, sent them in with local store here, Necroptic. You might know him, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
He does CGC submissions. They came back 9.6s.
Wow.
The #2 and #3. So I was over the moon.
Yeah.
There was a time I also bought a book from him, Wolverine 88, which is for comic fans that know, it's the cover where Deadpool has Wolverine on his katanas. It's kind of silhouetted, and it's the first battle of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Right.
And I sent it in around the time Deadpool 3 was coming out.
Yeah.
9.8.
Oh wow.
Came back a 9.8. It's probably over 400 now in a 9.8. And I paid, I don't know, 40, $50 for the raw, and then again about 30 to get it graded. So it's definitely worth it. I've definitely sent books in before, way more than that. Couple that I sent in that was really great. I bought locally another comic store, literally Mr. Comics over in Gulf Breeze. I was looking for books to bring to MegaCon, and I found a Wolverine #1, the Frank Miller 4-issue limited series. And I looked at it, looked it over. Again, it's hard to buy Raw books these days, but it looked really good, and Miller was going to be at MegaCon, so I was like, let me give it a chance.
Yeah.
Had him sign it, had CGC press it beforehand because I didn't have a chance to get it pressed beforehand. Always press your books. You don't always have to get them clean, folks, but always, always, always press your books, even if they've already been pressed. Press them before you send them. It makes a difference. Came back in 9.6.
Okay.
Signed by Frank Miller. It's awesome.
So when you say pressed,
Like a paper press.
okay.
So I've never done it, so I might butcher the process, but you get parchment paper, I think.
Okay.
And I think you lightly wet the book. Again, I've never done this. Don't do what I'm saying. Look it up before you do it.
Yeah.
But I believe you spray the book, you put the parchment paper on it, you spray the book so it doesn't burn,
Right.
and then you press it for however long.
Okay.
And you can go in too and do little, like you can do a full press, and you can go in and get specific bumps and creases out, and it just, so folks, even when you're buying slab books, graded books already, take a look at the front, take a look at the back, see if it can bump. Because especially if it's an expensive book and you think that you can crack it open, get it pressed, get it cleaned, whatever, and send it back in, sometimes it's worth it. I've had it happen. Another Frank Miller book, you'll be a fan of The Dark Knight Returns, number 1,
Yep.
classic book. I bought it as a 9.2 CGC Blue Label, and I had it for a few months or so. A previous MegaCon came around, and he was going to be there signing and whatnot, have a big thing to do. So I cracked it the night before. First time I've ever cracked a slab. I was super nervous, but I cracked it, had him sign it. It came back a 9.4.
Oh, nice.
So you never know. A grader might be having a bad day.
Right.
You know, it's always subjective.
Yeah.
It's never like, okay, this book has 3 spine ticks. It'll absolutely get this. I've seen books with a bunch of ticks still have a 9.8. I've seen an 8.0 slab look way better than
Yeah.
it should have been. It's all over the place.
Yeah. And there's different grading places.
Yes, yeah. So there's CGC, CBCS, PGX for whatever reason. And I saw recently at a show when I was in Philly, PSA does comic slabs now, and the label leaves a little to be desired.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact same thing as their cards, but they are bricks.
Yeah.
Like my buddy who had a table there had a demo slab that he was just handing people but dropping on purpose
Yeah.
to scare us. But it was to show us that these things are bricks,
Right.
and they're not gonna break. But I think for the most part, people go with CGC. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I like the label. I trust it. CBCS is probably right under that. Their label has gotten better. But you're definitely still going to fetch less if you go with CBCS.
Right.
And my theory has always been the only reason people send books to CBCS was because they thought it was CGC at a show.
Yeah.
But, so in the past, people would go to CBCS because they did autograph verification.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Whereas in the past, CGC would give you this ugly green label if it was written on, and they would just put on the label writing on cover, and they'd put the name in parentheses,
Right.
unless they specifically viewed it being signed, and you got a yellow label. Well, now CGC either merged or purchased JSA
Okay.
authentication.
Yeah.
So now you can send in all the autographed books you want. I don't know why it took them so long to do this. And if CGC didn't witness it personally, they'll have JSA verify it, and it'll be a gold label with a black trim,
Okay.
which I think looks cooler anyway, instead of just all gold.
Yeah.
So anyway, this one's fun. I am a giant Gargoyles fan. I have 2 number 1s already. I have one slabbed in a 9.8, and I have one raw in a super high grade ready for an Amanda Connor signature. She's one of my favorite artists. She does Harley. She did a big Harley run, but not everyone knows that she did these Gargoyle books, at least some of them. it's hard to find any. And this store is the same one in Jersey. This store had a few, but they weren't quite the condition I wanted for the price they were asking.
Right.
They were asking like high condition price for, you know, very fine books. But this one wasn't too bad. This also isn't one that I would necessarily get slabbed. So as long as it presents well, yeah, like right here you see has Connor's. So she did this cover as well. I remember being up, like staying up late to watch Gargoyles at night, and it just felt right.
Yeah.
Because you know, they're nocturnal beasts, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember staying up late, disobeying my mother to watch Gargoyles. I would fight her.
As all kids would do.
I would fight her. I'd be like, Ma, not going to bed. Gargoyles is on. It's a new episode.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan of Gargoyles. Let's see. We'll skip this one. It's just kind of a minor Avengers key. This one's kind of cool. Again, it's a minor key. It's not expensive. All these are kind of minor keys for the most part. But this is the first meeting of Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So, you know, it's nothing big, but with Spider-Man becoming the new Iron Man of the MCU a few years ago, kind of,
Right.
he's the big dog. And Guardians, you know, they had their 3-movie arc, but I'm sure they'll be back. So these guys have to interact more, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll interact more. So I've been after this one for a while. I've found this at every other month or so. There's a Philly Comic-Con. It's in a hotel. It's a medium-sized room with a bunch of cool vendors. When I'm lucky enough to catch it while I'm up there, I usually go because it's, you know, I have a buddy, Joe, from 360 Comics on Instagram. He'll usually be there, and he does like half off everything in his long boxes.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
then, and his wall books, he'll do 20% off. I can't promise he'll do that every time, but the few times I've been, he has. So I'll literally, and he doesn't, it's like sub $50 books. It's like $5 to, you know, $40, $50 books. And, you know, he doesn't change the prices. So if, like, I think this is one I pulled out. This is a JLA. This is someone joins the league. It's very minor key, but again, you just don't see JLA books in decent shape.
Yeah.
So he had a $10 sticker on it, $5.
What year?
This is 70s.
Okay. Yeah.
Number 105. So yeah, this is 70 something.
That's great shape.
Yeah, I mean it's not, it's, you know, it's sub very fine, but it's, you know, for being a run filler and a key that I needed, it's fine. This is another one like Vision Scarlet Witch. I already have this one, but it's not as good of shape. I really dug the WandaVision show. I know you're not a Marvel fan, but as you know, as we're TV guys, we're film guys, I liked the concept. And don't get me started on Wanda there. Ooh, Emily. Ooh, Emily. Okay. So this was in better shape, and I think it was only like $5 or something like that. So I grabbed it. Nice to be able to replace. This Daredevil book is really nice. It's in really great shape. It's definitely near mint. It's one of the few Daredevil keys that I needed for my run. Again, I found these few at the Philly Comic-Con show. Again, this is just one of those things that it's a minor key, but they just get eaten up by people digging through boxes. So it's nice to find that kind of stuff. This one's fun. Hawk and Dove #1, not the original #1, but this is the first appearance of Dawn as Dove, and I became a pretty big fan of the Titans show, the live action. Have you seen any of that?
I haven't. No.
It's pretty.
I want to though.
It's pretty cool. I haven't finished it. I think I've only seen the first like 2 seasons.
Right.
But it's rad. It's rad to see like a Jason Todd in live action and Dick Grayson make the transition from Robin to Nightwing, and Raven, you know, trying to get away from Trigon, all that kind of stuff. But in the live action, this version of Hawk and Dove is in that show.
Okay.
So I you know, you can find this, you know, pretty easily, but it's usually trash. This again is in, you know, nice near mint shape. So I was happy to find that one in the bins. These next three and last comics I did get at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash that I mentioned, 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I was really happy that Kevin came out with this. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy is one of my favorite movies. So he finally made the full comic book. I don't know how familiar you are with Chasing Amy, but in the movie, one of the main characters makes this comic as kind of a sorry to the lead actress. So he finally did it, 30 years later, he finally made the comic. And it's signed. It's signed by, where is it? Right here. It's signed by Kevin. I went through the entire rack to find the best condition I could find because I'm going to send it off.
Course.
I'm going to send it off. I'm going to hope for a 9.8. I don't think I see anything wrong with it. Of course, I'm going to press it. Make sure you press your books. But I was just super jazzed about this. This next book. So when I started collecting comics, and you can see exactly what I paid for because I didn't change the bag and board out. But when I started collecting comics, I was not a video game guy yet.
Right.
I've been collecting comics 3 or 4 years now, hardcore. But I never cared about these like Nintendo books or anything like that. It was never on my radar to put money into. But the last year or so, I have gotten into into video games. Yeah. So I saw this on their wall book section, and it spoke to me. It is in great shape. It has a couple of issues, but again, like the Livewire book, I'm hoping for a 9.4 in this guy. It's just cool. You can't really see because of the giant tag on it, but it's just great Game Boy Mario art. He's jumping out of the Game Boy at you. And it makes me want to collect more of the Nintendo books.
Yeah, and this right here would be something that if I saw on the store shelves back in the day as a kid, I would want it.
You would grab
Yeah,
it?
because I was a big Mario fan, and that's what, led me to want the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was kind of a chick. How were you a fan of Mario before you had Nintendo?
Well, it was Christmas time, and I was over at my grandmother's house. We were doing a Christmas Eve party each year, annual party, and so my cousins were talking about this new game that they had, and there's like this plumber that fights this dragon, and these turtles that you stomp on, and I'm like very, very, very interested in it and intrigued, by it. And so, you go into this castle. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is wild, and there's this big dragon turtle, like creature and breathing fire and all, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I've got to play it, and so. One of my cousins had it, and where my grandmother is, they've got a bunch of land, and my cousins and other relatives live nearby. So we just walked over, I think, to my cousin's house, and so we played Super Mario Brothers, for the very first time. I was like, I've got to have this, Mom. I've got to have this, Mom.
And that started the journey.
Yeah, a long Nintendo journey.
I'm pretty similar. NES was my first console, but we're talking, you have a few years on me, but I was maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 when I started playing NES. Yeah. I was around the same age when I got my first Game Boy, which this actually reminds me, I also picked this up because a short film idea I've been working on includes a Game Boy.
Okay.
It includes a guy's hunt for his childhood Game Boy.
Wow.
So that also kind of, I like serendipitous stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I picked up. But yeah, I'm the same way. I remember being in my room in Philly playing NES and not being good at it, not knowing what I'm doing. Kind of knew what you were doing with Mario.
Yeah.
Because, it's a little easier. But I remember like playing Zelda and I just kept scrolling the map. Because I was like, I'll get to something eventually, and just doing that for literally an hour.
Yeah. It's,
as a kid.
it's funny because Mario appealed to me, but The Legend of Zelda didn't. You know,
It's totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different games. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
yeah, and it was just something that about Mario that was more fun than Zelda to me.
Oh, it was
And
way more fun.
Yeah.
way more
And
fun.
so, you've got a group of people that love Zelda and a group of people that love Mario, and then you have, a hodgepodge of people, that like both.
I think it definitely comes down to age. I think older people that were around when the NES first came out probably gravitated more towards Zelda because it was
Yeah.
more D&D style. It was
Right.
more Final Fantasy style. Not that they probably didn't like Mario, but it was
Yeah.
more chill game.
Yeah, and Mario's a little bit more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Yeah. Before Charles Martinet.
He's such a great guy,
Yeah.
isn't he? He's
Yeah.
super fun. I almost had him on my show. We just didn't lock stuff down, but he's such a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah.
So this last comic, and then we'll move on to funner stuff.
And I have this one.
Do you have this one? So I unfortunately lost out. This is another one I got from the Secret Stash. I unfortunately lost out on the Collector Zone getting this in a 9.8. It was just some personal stuff went down, and I had to cancel my order. But saw this on there, and again, it's just I only see maybe one little tick on here. I think I could get a 9.6 on this, maybe a 9.8. I mean, and again, buyers' eyes are going to be rose colored, but it doesn't look like it's been read.
Yeah.
I know it's a little hard, but it's a square bound book, so those are really tough.
Right.
Because basically they're going to be whatever condition you find them in.
Yeah.
You can't really press square bound successfully
Right.
unless they're
Because you still have like a bend,
yeah
like that.
Yeah, it's just you can try. It's not going to work out super well. But it looks great. I was excited to find it at a fraction of what the 9.8 would be, and hopefully I send it in and get my own 9.8. Well, we'll see what happens there. But you gotta love that Bruce Timm art,
Oh yeah.
don't you?
I love Batman the Animated Series,
Love it,
and
love it.
I actually, when these comics were coming out, I don't remember exactly how I found out about it. Maybe a commercial on TV, or maybe like one of these magazines talking about something that I liked. But we went down to, and it was here in town. Back then, it's still here, but in a different part of. They moved to a different building. TBS Comics.
Oh yeah, that used to be my home away from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would go down there every week or bi-weekly, or I don't even remember how many times, they issued a new one, monthly, I guess. Yeah. And so every month, buy a new one. And I remember my mom was like saying, you need to buy one to read and
one
then
to-
buy one to
oh,
keep.
Mom's smart.
So I've got issue 1 that hasn't been read. I don't know how much that would be worth.
Issue 1, I mean, not a ton.
Yeah.
Like which you think is weird.
There's variants too. I think it, depending on the variant that you have of that issue 1, there is on the back of the book. There's some sort of different advertisement, possibly,
Okay.
that makes it worth more money. I can't remember exactly what it is.
So let me ask you this: are you talking about Batman or Batman Beyond?
Batman.
This one, because the
Batman
Batman
Adventures.
Okay, Batman Adventures. That's wild that you got to buy them week to week. Yeah, the number 1 surprisingly is not like super expensive. Like in the condition you're talking about, it probably fetch $20 or so. But obviously the number 12 first Harley Quinn is the most expensive.
Right.
And then there's certain other minor keys or cover arts that are more sought after. Like there's one, I think it's Batman and Robin Adventures. It's Batgirl sitting on a big Riddler question mark. And when I bought it at $50.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's doing now, but I had to ask the girl. This is a shop in Philly called Brave New Worlds. And this is when I'm pretty new to comics. I had to ask the girl, I'm like, I can't find this as a key anywhere. Why is this so expensive? I don't understand. Because at the time I thought only key issues had value, and I was very wrong about that. And we both looked it up together. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just people like the cover.
Yeah.
All right, so I bought it. I'm a huge Batgirl fan. Like
Yeah.
I love all iterations of Batgirl.
Yeah. I like that Yvonne Craig Batgirl with that glittery purple outfit.
Yes. But so this is the first annual, which means it is the 13th issue. It comes after a year of issues, the annuals, of course, and it is a key. It says, it doesn't say on here, but if you were to look it up, it is a key of an animated character. So that's pretty cool. That's why I grabbed it. It sounded like a cool character when I looked it up initially for the 9/8. So, all right, we're done with comics. Nice little stroll, like just a nice little haul of books. I couldn't really go too wild on comics this time around because I mean, when I'm at those shows, you can find whatever you want to find, but I try to keep stuff, under $50 books for the most part, and like I said, a lot of the books that I got from my buddy Joe at 360 Comics, they were mostly all half off.
Right. Yeah.
So all these like $5, $10 books I got for $2.50 and $5, and like, and he'll usually like stack them up, add them up, and like give you a discount on top of that.
Oh yeah.
So it's hard not to just walk away with a
Right.
pile of stuff.
I think I'm going to show some of my comics.
Go for it. I want to see some of your comics. I'm gonna.
Brand
Oh,
new.
the number ones, yeah.
Brand new one and the used.
Yeah, this one's definitely red. Yeah, I love that Penguin. Penguin just doesn't get the love. You remember that wild episode where it's the kids fighting the Penguin?
Yeah.
They were just scraping. Oh my God, you actually do have a 12.
That's worth a lot.
This is the first Harley, folks. For those that don't know, I have one slabbed myself in a 9.2 white pager, and I think that ran me. I bought that and one other animated key book. It was the first Supergirl animated. I think I spent like $750 on both, 9.2 and the 9.8. So yeah, this I mean, being objective, I don't know that it's going to grade above a 9, but that said, I would still grade it because there are people that, like, if you ever wanted to, because I mean, it presents awesome
Yeah.
still. Like, is it going to grade above a 9? Like I said, no, but it presents great. This is where, this is the money.
First Harley Quinn appearance in the comic book.
In the comic books. First appearance, period. Her comic appearance was before the show. So she appeared in the comic, and then they put her in the show.
No, I think it was the other way around.
Is it the other way
Yeah.
around?
It was the show.
Fact check us and comment below. We'll see what's up. But if you look like how I shine the light, I don't know, we're in two different angles, but you see like the divots, like all that can be pressed out.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't look like these break color either. So like that can be pressed out. This one does break color up here, unfortunately. But I think it would still, I mean, it's always worth grading this book, always. So I would definitely think about like maybe the next Pensacon or whatever con you go to that CGC is at. Or the next time Dan does a submission.
Yeah.
He'll press them for you. Definitely grade this book. It's great that you have it, no matter what condition it's in.
Let's see. I'm noticing something right now. Of course, here are two, like I was talking about, I would buy one to read and one to, keep, as new as possible.
Yeah.
And so this is the one that's been read because you see all the creases here on the spine there. But I'm also noticing, though, that these are two different versions, too, because this one is larger than this one.
Let me look at them, see what you're saying. Oh, I see what you mean. Are the prices different? No. Oh, so I think this is a UK variant. Because, so you see on this one, it gives you the date, October 92 when it came out. This one, it gives you the pence price for the UK. So this might be a UK variant that slipped in.
Yeah.
That might be the
And
difference.
that was at TBS Comics.
That was a TBS. Yeah.
Because my memory recalls that we bought two at the same time.
I love this
So,
one.
yeah.
I got it. I have this one myself. I love this cover. Batman and Talia just making out.
Yeah.
Just activating his bat makeout, you know? Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah.
Again, just that I don't think did Bruce Timm do all the covers? I don't think he did all the
I
covers.
don't know.
I don't think he did all of them, but just the Bruce Timm style. I love it. Well, I don't think I have this one. I love Ventriloquist.
Yeah.
He's such a
Yeah, dummy.
yeah, he's such a dopey character. He needs more love. I love him. He's in the they put Ventriloquist in the regular Batman run too. Those are cool. I love the animated Batman.
I love his expression here. It's like, eh? And then,
Oh, the annual.
yeah, the
Okay.
annual here that we just showed. And then,
I think I have this one too, the number
Yeah.
17, where he's on the horse. Kind of, this one reminds me of Dark Knight Returns, when the city's power's out,
Yeah.
he doesn't have his Batmobile, and he's riding through Gotham on a steed. That's what that one reminds me of. This one's cool too.
I loved this Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
And I love the Batgirl too, because, I mean, you hardly see Batgirl much in a series, you know,
No.
a TV series. And to have this also in the Batman Adventures, it just added a lot to it.
Now, how did you feel? Did you watch? Which one was it? Did you watch the Killing Joke animated movie?
I did.
What'd you think about the horseshoe Batgirl getting it on with Batman
Yeah.
in the first act?
I was like, okay, you know.
I mean, there've been iterations throughout Batman of that romance,
Right.
so it's not completely out of left field. Just they just didn't have enough material
Yeah.
out of the source.
I think if I watched it as a kid, I was like, that makes perfect sense. Batgirl, Batman, Bat Family.
Yeah, well, that doing it that way doesn't make that much sense. Bat Family. I saw this meme the other day that made me crack up. It was a picture of a guy dressed as Superman, and a girl dressed as Supergirl making out, and it was like the headline was, "Oh, such a sweet couple" or something like that. And someone else was like, "You might want to read Superman."
Yeah.
That's his cousin.
That's his cousin. Yeah. So I think, you know, I did the second copy, at least for
Oh, show that one.
number 2
Look
and
at
number
that cover.
3.
I think I just picked this one up recently too. This is such a dope cover, man. That Joker, you just hear Mark Hamill's voice in that Joker. It's a great cover.
How did you like the different animation after it became the
Like the New Adventures or whatever they
New
called it.
Adventures of
I mean,
Batman?
it was close enough that
Robin.
that as a kid it wasn't as jarring. Because again, I think with Batman animated, I was still in Philly as a young kid and it was coming on Cartoon Network. It wasn't a Fox thing yet.
Right.
I don't think. Am I right about that?
I think it was always on Fox.
Was it always on
Yeah.
Fox? Okay, I have a memory of watching it on Cartoon Network, but maybe that's
It could
again.
it could be, you know, with reruns.
Again, I was super. I mean, I was super young, so who
What's
knows?
a rerun?
Right. You'll find out.
You'll find out.
It wasn't too jarring as a kid, but yeah, looking on it now, I mean, I think they just made the legs skinny. They just made,
In my opinion, they just made it cheaper.
yeah.
I mean, it was easier for them to draw. It wasn't a lot of detail anymore, and I really miss that detail, especially when the ruby lips on Joker, the red lips, went away.
I will say I didn't love the new Joker.
yeah.
I don't love that era Joker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it was like Penguin changed from the Danny DeVito type Penguin with the 3 flippers for hands, for fingers, and he became like a normal human.
Right. He became just a crime boss
Yeah.
with, yeah.
And then Catwoman, who had the gray suit and a better body form, I guess. You know,
They just condensed her.
the condensed her, and she looked more like the Michelle Pfeiffer version
Yeah.
in a way, in a cartoony.
Cartoon.
type.
Because it was they made her an all
Because it was
black
all
suit.
black, yeah. And her face was more white, more pale, as if she had died and come back.
I did still like Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
That's it seemed like they muted everything a little bit.
Right.
But I did still like the poison. Obviously, the first one is superior, but I did
yeah.
still like that Poison Ivy.
Yeah. There were some characters that they did more justice to than the others, but there was far and few that they actually improved upon, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I don't recall if I've probably missing a few issues to complete it, but I've been recently I picked up one or two that I hadn't had.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'll complete this.
Yeah, it's fun to finish runs like that.
Yeah.
And they're becoming easier and easier to find. I think more stores are buying them now in collections
Yeah.
and putting them in their bins. So
Right.
if you guys are fans, go find it.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna move. I'm gonna move to video games a little bit.
Sure.
Might not do all the video games at once, but since we were talking about Nintendo and NES, let's start there.
Okay.
This one is pretty sweet. So Captain Planet and the Planeteers. I didn't know this existed until about a month ago when I was just every now and then I'll go through my game app, Game Eye, and just add stuff to my want list because my video game collection it started a little over a year ago at this point, and it started with the idea of I just want Pokemon games.
Yeah.
I just want the Pokemon games that I played boxed in a nice display,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And then I went to Philly, and it turned into okay, let's just do games I had as a child.
Yeah.
And then when I went to the first store, which the store I like going to the best for video games in Philly is actually in, they have a location in Glenside and one in Lansdale. It's called Classic Game Junkie. Nice staff. I prefer the one in Lansdale. I prefer that location, but the one in Glenside, the original, still worth the trip.
Yeah.
First time there, I realized I'm in trouble because it turned into just cool games. Part of my video game collection is now movie tie-ins, which you will see when I get to them. And also, again, just childhood stuff. I've never played this. I have no idea what the gameplay is like, and I would love to eventually find a boxed version for all my NES games. But what I like about NES, the carts, is they look good without the box.
Yeah,
like they look good
definitely.
because it's
With the sticker, yeah.
with the sticker, it's nice tall display, so you don't always have to have the box.
And even if you buy an NES game that the sticker is worn out or damaged or whatever, there are replacements for those stickers too. I mean, it's not the original, obviously, but
If you're just going to keep it,
if you're going to keep it, you're going to display it. There's minor differences, and there's different people that you buy from, that do a better job, or you just have to shop around and see which one does better, to choose from. But it would be a good replacement for that.
But I don't know about you, but this was definitely a Saturday morning / weekday, because I think this did have early reruns in its lifespan.
Yep.
Captain
Planet,
he's a hero, gonna take pollution down to zero. So it went Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart.
Yep.
I did look up gameplay of this, and it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it looks fun. You're a Planeteer. Each Planeteer has its own power. And then I think eventually you're able to, I guess if you get enough power, you can become Captain Planet and just wreck. and just wreck the level up.
You know, I was into Captain Planet a little bit. I watched the show just a little bit, not all the way through, but then had a few figures, action figures, and then I don't think I had owned the game back then, and so with the game, it would be something that you would rent from Movie Gallery, Blockbuster, or whatever. For me, at least. You know.
I remember having the figures. I had the T-shirt. I had the ring.
Yep. Yeah. Had to have the ring.
Had to have the ring, and I think the ring came with the figures. Smartly enough. So this was a fun find. I found this at Classic Game Junkie this last trip. Most of the games I did. I don't know. I'm just glad to have it. When I finally get an NES, I think I'll actually play it because a lot of my games I'm just not going to play.
Right.
I collect them to collect. And I know you guys might kill me for that, but I just don't set aside time to play video games. Yeah. But I appreciate them to the point where I'm collecting them now.
Well, I collect more and more games. I've had all my originals, and there may have been a few that I've lost, and I purchased them again. And I do play some time to time, but I'm always like, I need to play, you know, but I never get to it, you know. Adults, where you get busy. So
this next NES cart, Rescue Rangers. Or no, yeah, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers. So this kind of unofficially goes with the DuckTales NES cart. Yep. Usually, if you're looking for one, you're looking for the other.
Right.
I found this in a box at the Chester County thing I was telling you about. It was the last show I went to before I came back here to Florida.
Yeah.
Usually people overcharge for this game.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Oh, yeah.
This guy had it under market, and it was one of the last purchases I made at that show. And again, this is just one of those things where I watched it every day.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
It was in your cartoon rotation after school. Rescue Rangers.
Chip and Dale.
Did you watch the movie?
I did.
The movie?
I did.
I didn't like it.
You didn't?
I didn't like it. I only watched it the one time.
I appreciated it that it took place, and they continued with that Roger Rabbit, Who Framed Roger Rabbit type of theory of that the cartoon characters, after they make their shows, you know, they're living their lives, you know, as toon characters, and they have...
Yeah. I did like the convention aspect to it, you know, as you know, as a guy that goes to a lot of cons, I was like, okay, that's fun, that's kind of funny and meta.
But, you know, one of the gripes that I had about the movie was that they waited until the very end of the show to play the theme song.
Yeah, it was kind of like the 2017 Power Rangers, where you got 10 seconds of the
Go Power Rangers
at the end. Yeah,
and they wouldn't even because it was called Power Rangers.
It wasn't Mighty Morphin.
It wasn't Mighty Morphin,
yeah.
Even though it was the Super Sentai that they chose to go Zayu Ranger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I kind of remember just for the Chip and Dale movie, I kind of just remember watching, like, all right, that was cute. I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever revisited it.
Who's your favorite chipmunk?
Chipmunk? Like in the history of chipmunks?
No,
or Chip and Dale? Which one? Because it's been a while since I watched the cartoon.
Dale has the red nose, and Chip has the black nose. Dale is the kind of stupid.
Probably Dale then. Whoever needs the mess cleaning up after, that's usually the one I gravitate towards. Whoever's causing the trouble.
Yeah, I love Dale too.
My favorite of them is probably the Christmas cartoon where they're hiding in the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
And they're like bugging the hell out of Pluto, and very fond memories of that cartoon. My mom actually, when I was very young, my mom made like this 6-hour Christmas cartoon mixtape on a VHS for me.
That's awesome.
It also has like Miracle on 34th Street on it, inexplicably. But it's all mostly cartoons. So you got like Garfield Christmas and Mickey Christmas Carol and Winnie the Pooh Christmas, and all these other ones. But yeah, that one's on there
Yeah.
as a brief one, so it's fresh in my memory. This is one of those things, one of those games that I mentioned where I didn't know I wanted it until I saw it. You know, there is a Small Soldiers for I want to say it's Genesis maybe for a console that I do collect. But I mean, come on, man, Small Soldiers. I was 9, 10 years old when this came out, and it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It was everywhere. The toys were awesome. The fast food meals tie-ins were great. I never had any of the video games though.
Yeah.
Never did. And this Game Boy game, I mean, this is Game Boy.
Game Boy, the original.
This is not Game Boy Color. This is not GBA.
Yeah.
And that's what attracted me to it, is that this has to be very late in the Game Boy run.
Yeah, because you know it's just the original Game Boy because you've got that gray background with the dark purple or blue Game Boy.
Yeah. So I had to grab it. And I know you might be seeing some of the prices, but this is from Classic Game Junkie. This guy gave me an insane deal. I picked up a big stack of stuff, and he gave me a great deal on everything. But the box is just in immaculate shape.
Yeah.
It only really has a little bit of a bend in the front corner. Which corner would that be? I think it's this one over the G. There's a little bit of a crease.
I see that, yeah.
But I mean, again, for me, when did this come out? Let's see. 98.
98.
1998.
They were still making original Game Boy games in 98.
And, if you think about it, 98, 99, that's when the Pokemon games came out.
Yeah.
So Game Boy's in its heyday. It's starting, it's at the top and it's starting to go down because they're getting ready for Game Boy Color in the next year or two. So this is very late in the Game Boy run, maybe 2 or 3 years before they stopped making Game Boy.
When did Game Boy Color come out?
I don't know that off the top of my head. I do know that Pokemon Silver and Gold, which was Game Boy Color, came out, I want to say 2000-ish?
Let's see.
So probably 99, 2000 Color came out. That's my guess. What's
Okay.
Google say?
Well, AI overview in Google says Game Boy Color was released on October 21st, 1998 in Japan, and in November 1998 for international markets.
Really? It came out that early, 98?
Yeah.
I don't remember it being out that early.
North America, November 19th to be specific, 1998.
Huh.
And then in Europe, November 23rd, 1998.
Oh, you know why? Because it was backwards compatible.
Yeah.
That's why. Okay.
You could play your old games in color now instead of just that green.
Well, it was still green, I think, but the important thing was that it was backwards compatible. So I probably did have.
Okay, yeah.
So I had that's what it was. I had the purple Game Boy Color, one of the first ones.
Yeah.
And I was able to still play regular Game Boy. And then when Pokemon Silver came out, and I got like the special Pikachu Pokemon Heavens Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
that was in like 2000, I think. Anyway, again, I have no idea if this gameplay is any good. But look at that box art. I mean, it's a great looking box.
Yeah.
Again, this came out in 1998, so you're talking 27 years. This is a 27-year-old box.
I never watched Small Soldiers.
Oh, you would love it.
I need to. Though.
You would love Small Soldiers. Holy crap, you need to watch that tonight. You would love Small Soldiers. Speaking of Game Boy,
That's amazing.
so the original Game Boy, this was a pretty cool find. It's just the box, but I think I still have my original Game Boy.
Yeah.
So I technically have a boxed original Game Boy. I don't think this doesn't have like the manuals or anything, so
Right.
it wouldn't be complete in box or CIB, as us collectors say. This again, I found at Classic Game Junkie, and this was part of my stack. I mean, it's not great, it's not perfect. There are issues throughout,
But you have a box.
but I have a box. It's not destroyed. It looks great. I
Yeah.
mean, especially on the front, it just really has like this little rip here again with where the G is, like with the small soldiers. There's a little bit of wear there. But I mean, again, this came out in 1989.
Yeah. And I love the graphic. I mean, the 80s were like obsessed with virtual reality type looks to it. You know?
Yeah, very Tronish.
Yeah.
When I was 4 years old, I think I was 4. For Valentine's Day, my mom gave me a Game Boy
Awesome.
with Tetris,
Yep.
Spider-Man 2. I remember playing so much of that Spider-Man 2 game. I'm still on the hunt for that. If anyone has a CIB Spider-Man 2 Game Boy, come holler at me. It's pretty expensive, but I need it.
Now, Tetris came with the Game Boy, or was that sold separately?
I think with this it did.
Okay.
I'm not super positive.
'Cause I want-
yes, includes
Okay.
Tetris Game Pack. So this was actually a dope little thing. It came with, because I'm just now reading this. It came with Tetris headphones with stereo,
Yeah.
a game link, and batteries, and the Game Boy. You got all of that in this box
Yeah.
for how it was probably what, like $100, $150 back in the day, something like that.
$89.99.
$89.99.
Probably playing off with the year.
right, sure, that makes sense. So with inflation, that's it's probably just under $200 today.
231 in 2025, roughly.
Okay, so but I mean that's a great deal because you think of it in terms of a Switch, right? But when you bought a Switch, you're paying $300 for a Switch, which I know is a superior machine, but let's just, for argument's sake,
Right.
every game's going to be $50. A sixth. It's a sixth of the price, right?
Yeah.
So pretty decent headphones, little earbuds with them. Yeah, it was a really good deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this box, again, the classic Game Junkie I went to, he actually gave me this box for free.
Awesome.
They had it priced at almost $80 for this box, which was already an okay deal.
Yeah.
For this condition, I think. But
Definitely.
I got a bunch of games. He gave me a percentage off of the games and the box for free,
Yeah.
which brought everything at a comfortable percentage under the market value for everything.
And the thing about this is the Game Boy, of course, is a portable system.
Yeah.
And back then, we were tied to our television sets with Nintendo.
It's true. Couldn't
And
go anywhere.
so, not like today with the Switch and Switch 2, where you can just pull pull it out, and go wherever you want to with extended battery life. This was freedom. This
All right.
was like
All right.
you could play your games on the way to the store or wherever your mom or dad dragged you to, and
I kind of want that. Maybe that'll be in the short film that I do. Game Boy was freedom. But anyway, I am super careful with this. It is still sealed on one side. On the side this one is not.
yeah,
It doesn't have the original styrofoam. There's just like a block of foam in there
right.
to keep the shape. But even, like I mentioned with the comics, it's harder to find people to do it. But with game boxes, you can press these too.
Yeah,
So like there's, all that. I think I could press all that out.
wow.
Well, not me personally. I don't know what I'm doing, but some of that.
One other story about the Game Boy. My original Game Boy, I still have it. Sadly, it doesn't turn on because I left the batteries in it,
So it
and so it corroded.
it corroded, yeah.
I tried to clean it out, and I actually got it on for a few days, I guess, and then left it alone a little bit, and then I no matter what, I can't turn it on, so I would have to physically get the parts out and replace these corroded parts, which is a process, and I'm not entirely confident in myself to do that.
Well, so if you want, I can put you in touch with people that know how to do that.
Yeah.
That are pseudo local.
And that's all the time that we have right now. We'll have Bill on in the next episode, and we'll finish looking at his collection, and we'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. See you later.